money built over time slowly is the one that lasts longer as opposed to fast money.
What's up, lovely human beings? Welcome to 2026. This is Cloud Stories Africa, and my name is Melvin. Now, it is very important that we start the year not just on a high note, but on a right note as well. And so what better conversation to have at the very beginning of the year than a money conversation?
A tenth is a good start. 10%.
Really?
Yes.
Will I get rich?
Of course.
Just 10%?
Yes.
Oh.
A tenth.
Now, you please don't start getting uncomfortable. We're going to make this really simple for you, break down the concept to a level that each and every one of you guys who's watching knows exactly where to start and what to do to set your year and give it the right tone. With me in studio is the king of personal finances, Stomzy. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Melvin. It's so nice to be here. Thank you for being a great host so far.
Yeah.
I can't wait to get started. It's going to be fun.
I was so looking forward to this.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie. I think the last two episodes, including this one, have been quite interesting for me in terms of the research, getting to interact with your content, not just from a preparation standpoint, but also looking at the game and being like, when you go into it and I look at some of your content and you're like, don't do this, don't do that. I'm like, oh, that is me. I am deep in the wrong game and believing that I'm doing everything right. So I'm really glad to have you here because honestly, I know I'm not the only one who's money clueless. And so it's really good that we're having this conversation right now for people to set the tone for the year,
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
right.
People should clock it for 2026.
Yes.
Easy money, yeah.
So do you want us to go right into it or do you want to tell us a fun fact about you? So don't go so deep, just one fun fact.
Fun fact.
Yes.
Oh, wow. What's a good fun fact to actually share here? I have quite a number, but I think a great fun fact, when I was in school, when I was in primary school, I used to know how to neigh like a horse, like properly. Like I could make the horse sounds, the neighing properly.
Oh, really?
Yes. And so people used to be like, can you please neigh like a horse? I've never
Can
had
you
it like
please?
that. I can't. Now, those muscles are completely
Can
gone.
you please?
Can you please? No. This one I can't now. So, yeah, but I used to know how to do that.
Yeah.
So that's a fun fact, just something random.
No, that is super fun. Yeah. Oh, wow. And such a long time ago. I'm
That's a long
surprised you
time ago.
remembered.
Yeah.
All right. So let me take it back to when you were 17. All right?
Yeah.
Now, this is us getting into the money conversation.
Yeah.
When you were 17 years old, you borrowed $5,000, which is an equivalent of about 500,000 Kenya shillings, if I'm not wrong. And you lost it all in a span of less than 6 months. Tell me about that, how it defined your financial journey, and how it builds credibility to the conversation that we're having here today.
Yeah. Actually, just to correct you, it wasn't 5,000. 5,000, I probably would have just gone on holiday. But it was 500.
Oh, it was
and this
500.
Yeah, this was much later. I think I was early 20s. But yeah, regardless, I still got that 500 from my mom. She hooked me up because she was like, hey, I never want you to look back and say I never supported you when you were dreaming. Because I was dreaming of, all what, young 22, 21, 20-year-old young men dream about, fast cars, beautiful women, big houses, and just the fast life, just the flashy life.
Yeah.
So my goal was to see if that 500 could be the start of that. Unfortunately, it wasn't, as you mentioned. I lost it all in very tremendous fashion.
Yeah.
And it was through kind of like what everyone is nowadays just raving about, which is Forex. So we were very early in the Forex game, myself and a couple of friends from uni. And, I learned the hard way that, it's a game that's rigged against you. So basically you are just fodder. When chakula ya ng'ombe, like you're just in
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Your money is just fodder. But you do tend to learn very quickly that that's not how you build wealth and grow rich. That's just my opinion. Of course, this has a lot of people will be against it, especially the younger guys,
Yeah.
whether it's ladies or gents and all that. I'm not preaching against Forex. I'm just saying that when you get
You've
into that,
tried it and
yes,
you've
and
seen the
I've
results.
seen the results.
Yeah.
I know how hard it is and how difficult it is to consistently make money. So yeah, 500 down the toilet.
Yeah. Okay. So from losing the 500, what happened there, and how did that define the way you viewed finances all the way to you creating Basquiat Capital?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a great question. So, number one, the name of the game is to stay in the game. That's the number one rule. When you start anything, you don't want to be one and done, a bust.
Yeah.
Like, say, for example, if you're a music artist, you have one song, you're one hit wonder, and then you disappear.
Yeah.
Like the guy for Watch Me Whip. You know?
Yes,
Just one
yes, I
song,
remember,
and then I think now he's in prison.
Yeah.
So you don't want to be a one-hit wonder. The name of the game is survival and longevity. And what the principles of money are always saying is that money built over time slowly is the one that lasts longer as
Yeah.
opposed to fast money. So for me, I feel like that was now the first lesson. I was like, okay, cool. With these principles, whatever it is I'm doing is not the right way.
Yeah.
Warren Buffett didn't do it like that. Paul Tudor Jones, all those, very wealthy men and women who have gone down the path of finance, they haven't done it like that. It was nice and slow, accumulating, building, learning,
Yeah.
failing, learning, all that kind of stuff. So in a nutshell, I think that's kind of like what now guided me to now in 2024 say, cool, I want to start Basquiat because I want to scale what I know to other people who look like me. So people who look like you and me. Yeah, we are very underserved and marginalized, if you can use that term. So the goal is just to make sure that more black people are wealthier.
Yeah. No, I love that. And we're going to get into that a little bit later in this episode. But I want us to start with the mindset because you see, for you, from your lessons rather, that you got that early, you had things that changed within you. You learned something from that experience, and from there on, just by virtue of me interacting with your content online, I can tell you someone who is constantly reading, constantly improving themselves. But going into 2026, even before we start the deep money conversation, what is the right mindset to have to create wealth?
Oh, yeah. I mean, like what you just said right there, mindset is super critical. It is critical for anyone. I mean, you can always dream and have the nice things in your head and all that kind of stuff, which is nice. It is actually very healthy for you to think of, I want to have a very nice house, probably in Runda or in Kitisuru or in Johannesburg or in Cape Town, wherever you want. Yeah. And then just double back and say, okay, cool. For me to get to that level, I need to have X amount of money. So you put out your calculator, you do the math. This is what I need to save. This is what I need to do. If I get a job that does this, I feel like those energies tend to resonate out into the universe. I'm a huge believer and have faith in Christianity and God and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. And I also do believe that the universe will conspire for you when you start thinking. So what you've just said is so important. Yeah. Just that mental state where you're like, I will achieve what I will set out to achieve, no matter how long it takes. And then, things just, I don't know, the universe just starts moving things around to favor you and to put you in the right rooms, the right conversations you're having. Yeah. You make new friends who, start improving your thinking and, once again, the opportunities. So for me, it's just that. Instead of thinking about what am I going to drink this weekend with my friends, when you just start thinking about how am I going to live 10 years from now, 5 years from now, how do I want to look like? Yeah. What do I want to drive? Where do I want to live? All those kind of things. So important.
And it's kind of like the perfect time to have that discussion within yourself. If at all you didn't do it towards the end of last year, it's a very crucial point for you to start having those conversations. And I love what you said earlier. The name of the game is to stay in the game. And if you believe that the game can be rigged for you, then you kind of start creating the right platforms for the game to favor you. And so I love that you said that, and I love that, even before you start making the plan, because something else that I'm learning is that it's not just about the plan, it's the backbone of the plan. It's not just about, I want to drive a flashy car. It's, I want to drive a flashy car. After what period of time, and how am I getting to this flashy car?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I totally agree with you there. And just back to your point, it's just in the mind.
Yeah.
Yeah. Once you start thinking, things just happen.
Yeah.
And it's just weird. But I believe in what the good book says. Like, you're a co-creator. You are a co-creator. You've been given the power to create, and that's why we're even here. We have Cloud Stories Africa today because Ian as well, came together and you're like, let's create.
Let's create something.
Yeah. So this is because of you and your mindset. So this, like what you're doing right now, is amazing. So I have to give you your flowers.
Thank you for that, Stomzy. Okay, so let's look at financial habits. What have you learned so far that differentiates the good ones from the bad ones? And this is what I mean. We're going to get into the conversation about investment, but even before we get to that, what are the money habits that you've seen that define people who create wealth? Not just people who become rich, but people who create wealth and pass it down, not just one generation, 2 generations, but what are the financial habits that you've seen that lead to people creating wealth for themselves?
For sure. That's a great question. I like to use a very close family member who I have literally witnessed grow from wherever they started out from. I don't have the consent to share his story and their story, but I've seen them, come from the trenches, from the mud, to $1 million status.
Yeah.
So I have a blueprint. I'm like, I've seen these people.
Yeah.
And they've grown from here to there, where they are right now, because of a couple of things, and this is something that they always talk about. Number one is just a little bit, number one, I think it's just stability. I'm not going to lie. Stability when you have a good woman.
Really?
And you have, as a man, when you have a good woman, and as a woman, when you have a good man. You are good, you are set.
Yeah.
Personally, that's something that I can say I have seen, and it means I'm like, with that, for sure, you're good to go.
Yeah.
Success is along the road, because you're not thinking about, have these girls on rotation. Each and every one of them, wants. It's just one single person. You focus, and then you come together and you build.
Yeah.
So that's super critical. Yeah.
So just allow me to jump into that first point before we move on. I love that we're having this discussion again at this particular point, because we're also speaking to, when I look at the audience, our generation, just people between 25 and 35 years old. And within that time period is when people start making these key decisions in their life. And part of that decision is whether or not you're going to take a partner. And so I love that you say that, because even as people go into the new year, you need to be very intentional about, this is the kind of partner that I'm looking for. This is probably how they understand different social concepts. This is how they understand money. This is how they understand the economics. And so I'm glad that you said that. So we won't get into a relationship conversation. It's a wide one.
Yeah.
But I love that you mentioned stability as a first pointer.
For sure. And stability is, the thing is, if you're like, we're together, you will see my flaws, I will see yours. We mold each other.
Yeah.
My mom likes to say panel beat, which is literally that. It's just, you're doing this wrong, change.
Yeah.
And you fix this. And that's how my close family members have done it, and it has worked wonders for them. I'm so proud of them, and I really want to emulate them.
Yeah.
So stability is number one. Of course, the other ones, I don't want to sound cliche. It's just,
please do sound cliche. And let me tell you why I want you to sound cliche. Human is bound to forget.
Yeah.
It's always good to put in a reminder. Whenever there's an opportunity, just remind, because we're bound to forget.
For sure.
And you'll be surprised, it's in the smallest things.
Okay, now that you say that.
Yes.
For me, I feel like aside from stability, it's just number one, just living within your means. Like, just you don't have to go and buy thousands of bottles, spend hundreds of thousands or tens of thousands, trying to show yourself, whether
Yeah.
you're a lady or you're a guy. No one cares. Yeah, personally, I feel like in this world, people want to really, because it's a social construct, man, woman, we're all social beings. So we want to be perceived in some certain light by
Yeah.
strangers, people who know us, all that kind of stuff. So people make some really stupid decisions that jeopardize now their financial capabilities in the future.
Yeah.
So someone will go spend on bottles in the club, then the following day they don't have food.
Yeah.
All that kind of stuff. So it just comes back to just the prudence and discipline and saying that, okay, the money that I have is not infinite. It is very finite unless
Yeah.
you're printing it, unless you have a printing press in your house to print money.
Yeah. But
It's
then you
finite.
need a really
Yeah.
good plan to launder it as well. So it's not just
Yeah.
about printing. You need a good plan to
exactly to clean
to
it.
make sure that you use it.
Exactly. Yeah. So just that, knowing that you have that discipline and you're like, okay, cool, this amount of money, and as much as I want to live a certain way, I am only limited by myself. I
Yeah.
will be the one who will be like, this amount, first I need to A, pay myself, B, take care of my bills, C, take care of my family, etc., etc.
Yeah.
And then whatever it is that remains, I can enjoy. I can
Yeah.
go and have a drink with people who actually give two shits about me
Yeah.
and, enjoy my company, and they don't care what I have in my pocket, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think that's the second one. And then lastly, we've talked about stability, we've talked about discipline. The third one is just enjoying the ride. It's no one knows this thing from the beginning because it is not taught in school.
Yeah.
And it is like that on purpose, because school churns out employees. That's the system. That's the entire
That's
system.
how
globally.
it's designed to be. Yeah.
So they won't teach you about risk. They won't teach you about money. They won't teach you about taxes. So it's up to you now to teach yourself and to pass it along to your kids. And that's just a lifelong education system.
Yeah. No, I love that you say that, because I was just talking to a friend of mine the other day, and I was saying, yes, we went to business school. That doesn't mean that we know money. It doesn't mean that you are taught that, this is how to compound your own finances. And even when we were taught how to compound, like money, this is how it works, this is how bonds work, you were never taught from a personal finance perspective, if I can put it like that.
Yeah.
It's always when you're buying for a company, like now for your company, if you're buying for clients, but you're never really taught this is how to manage your own money. And so that becomes a key part of your self-education.
Yeah.
So if I can summarize that right before we move to the next segment: stability, discipline, and educate yourself.
Absolutely.
And I love something that you said in between. Remember to stop and just enjoy the ride.
Yes. Very important.
Yes, remember to stop and enjoy the ride. So while you're pulling together the plan, also put together a plan where you just get to sit. And I love what one of our guest speakers said during the Cloud Stories event. She said, just lie down and watch the clouds.
Yes.
Lie down and watch the clouds.
Yes.
All right. So let's get deep now into the money conversation. And I want us to start from an income perspective. And I want us to cover both paycheck conversations and people who get irregular income. And now we're going into a point where we're leading towards the discussion of how do I invest? So I've got the right mindset. I've got my toolkit right here. I'm developing stability. I'm developing the right kind of discipline to say that if I earn $1,000, I'm going to save 50 and enjoy 900 because I'm the kind of person who doesn't care about tomorrow. You understand yourself, you're self-aware. Or I'm going to save 950 and spend 50, just because I want to create not just my wealth, but generational wealth. And so let's start with that key point of how do you allocate the income? Because again, a friend of mine was just telling me that if you don't have money to invest, then what exactly are you investing? And so it needs to start from a discussion of income. Allow me to use Kenya shillings here. If I'm earning 100,000 or even 200,000, how do I allocate that cash? Again, for everyone watching, this is for guys between 25 to 35 years old. Again, I mentioned let's keep the conversation tight because money is wide.
Yes.
And money is wide, so we need to kind of narrow down and focus down the concept. And so for anyone who's just joined the job market, for anyone who's in mid-level, scaling towards junior level to mid-level management, how do you allocate this income to make sure that you're proportionally directing it to an investment whereby you get the best returns?
True.
Yeah.
Cool. So there's two aspects to that to actually answer that, and I always keep talking about it also on my page, and it's as old as time itself. This principle: pay yourself first, plain and simple. Yeah. When people say here, pay yourself first, they don't understand what the hell that means, and some people will probably say, okay, I need to take care of my bills. That's me paying myself. No. No, you've earned that money. Now you need to pay yourself. And paying yourself means keeping some of that money.
Oh.
Keep a certain percentage or a certain amount every single month.
Yeah.
People know that as saving or whatever, and they give it all these very different terms. But that is literally paying yourself. You're saying, out of everything that I will be spending on, this is mine to keep. Yeah. And I say this is as old as time itself because it's in The Richest Man in Babylon, very old book. But it's also about the mindset and also a financial help book using examples and stories of people in the past, like people like before Jesus. Yeah. You know, this is a problem. This is a human problem that has always perennially been there. Yeah. And the fact that it was written with those stories in mind shows that people have struggled with money for a very, very long time. So paying yourself first. Next is always just about how much level of risk you are willing to take so that you can put whatever that you've paid yourself with to work for you. Yeah. And working for you is you think about these amounts or this percentage, whatever, as slaves. So if you have 1,000 shillings, if you have $10, if you have $50, instead of viewing it as a transactional unit of, of converting value and getting something in return, you look at it as a slave. You're like, okay, this one, I want to put it to work. Okay. Heavily. I want it to slave for me properly. Yeah. So that it can create more. I want another 10, 50, 100 from that 50 that I'm deploying to work. Yeah. So those two principles, paying yourself first, putting that money to work. And that is the principle now of investing. But once again, like I said, it always comes down to your risk level. Yours and mine are very different. Yeah. But because we're younger, naturally the general rule of thumb is you can take on more risk when you're young and when you don't have responsibilities.
Okay, so I'm going to challenge that perspective in just a minute, and it's something that I thought about this morning. But even before I do that, so is there a framework of this allocation? You know, is it 80% pay myself because I'm younger, no kids, hakuna mende, hakuna paka kwa hiyo nyumba? Yeah. So is it 80% pay myself? Is it 50% pay myself? And does it vary on a month-to-month basis?
Great question. For me, the thing is, with being human, we are used to repetition. You know, we are creatures of habit. Yeah. So you will repeat certain things. You'll wake up at a certain time. You will do certain things in a certain order. Yeah. So with that order, say for example, you wake up, probably you brush your teeth first, or you wake up, you go take a shower first. Yeah. You wake up, you pray first. You do that consistently because it's a habit. So now, as a creature of habit, when it comes to finances, this also helps. you know how much you're going to put aside.
Yeah.
General rule of thumb from the richest man in Babylon, a tenth is a good start. 10%.
Really?
Yes.
Will I get rich from just 10%?
Yes.
Oh.
A tenth. So the book says a tenth of what you earn is yours to keep. Very simple. If you keep telling yourself that, whether you're making consistent income through an employment contract or whatever, or you're getting irregular income with several jobs, same principle will apply. Whether it's a tenth, whether it's 20%, it's now how aggressive you want to be as a person. Like, so if as Melvin, I feel like I can live on 50% of what I earn, and the rest of the 50 is mine. So that's
awesome. And of course, defined again by the stage where you currently are in life. You can't say, I'm gonna save the full 90 and your kids sleep hungry just because you're trying to save. Again, dynamics and based on where you are. So allow me to challenge that concept of your risk level should inform your financial, or rather your investments. It's a concept that I was thinking about this morning, and I was like, why is it, or rather what defines me as a person saying that I'm risk averse or I'm willing to take risks? What circumstances define that for me? Because again, for the longest time when we started, I said I was watching your content and I was like, I am in the wrong game. I am in the wrong game. Like, the game is there. I am
outside the stadium.
All honesty. But no. So I was thinking about it, and I've always thought of myself as someone who's risk averse. And then I'm like, why? Why is that? Why do you define yourself like this? And so I was like, actually, there's no proper basis for me giving this explanation. And so it's something that I thought needs some level of demystifying, saying that you're risk averse just because you don't want to lose money. I feel like it needs to be backed. For you to say you're risk averse, there needs to be a level of backing. If you say you're a risk taker or your level of risk is kind of mid-level, it needs to be backed by something. Not just you wake up one day, because I feel like that's what I've been doing. You know, you're just like, okay, no, I don't want to lose money. But why? Why are you not willing to lose money? You're young. There's nothing like, okay, other than, of course, yes, you want to create wealth, but why? You know, and that's a question that I want to pose to you, because, you know, when we're looking at risk, should it just be a personality thing, or can these things be demystified in the sense that, can you define it in a certain way? I don't have kids, and so I'm willing to take on more risk. I have maybe parents who are sick, so I can't afford to take risk. I'm a little bit older, and so the level of risk needs to go down a little bit. Is risk something that you can play with? Is it something that can be changed within a person?
That's actually a great question. Can it be changed? I don't know, because I think as human beings, you know, change is one of those things you're very, very not good at. People don't like change that much.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Yeah. So when it comes to risk, this has to be a life-changing situation that forces you to change how you approach risk. I'll give you just a simple example to know how risk averse you are for the audience who's probably watching. Just take this exercise. If you're a guy, if you're a girl, you know, probably say you're somewhere, and you, of course, this is assuming that you're single, because, you know, we don't like cheaters out here. But, you know, you go somewhere, you're like, okay, I see Melvin, she's looking good. I want to say hi. I want to say something. I want to approach her. The level of confidence you have is a measure of your risk, how you want to take that risk. Because,
oh, really?
You know, of course, people hate rejection, all that thing. So with that in the back of your mind, you're like, do I want to do this? I mean, she looks good, etc., etc. Should I go say something? That'll tell you how good you are with risk.
Okay.
Another one. You're absolutely starving. Like unakufanja. And you probably are, let's look at a good example. You are probably you see that area around Garden City,
Yeah.
with now on the thicker highway.
Yeah.
So you probably across the road kuna msewa smocha, like people are always saying these are the best smochers.
Yeah.
And for a comrade, you're like, hey, 70 bob nimeshiba hapo, ama 50 bob nimeshiba hapo. You're so hungry, but the distance probably, if you use like general means, I don't know where the flyover is where people can cross. I think nimbali kidogo.
Yeah.
So are you willing to take on oncoming traffic 2 times to get to your smocha?
So no flyover, just
Yes, highway.
Yeah.
Are you willing? Like, is that something that, because there are people who do it.
Please don't go and do that.
Yeah. I've seen people who will cross on the damn highway and cross and jump over those whatevers to get to the other side. You're like, why don't you just use the normal route for human beings?
Yeah.
So that's the person who's like, I want to take on this risk. So that's a very high risk appetite for that person.
Yeah.
For some, it's not the same. The people will be like, catch me dead.
Yeah.
Some people will be like, it depends, and all that kind of stuff. So these are real life situations really help guide and give someone a little bit of insight as to how much they want to take risk. Because the same way you'll apply it, you'll apply risk for your life is the same way you'll apply risk for your money.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Wow. Okay. No, love that. But there are actual scientific tests that also give you insight into how riskiest. Is that an English word? I honestly don't think so.
Today it is.
Yes, today it is.
Yeah.
To what level of risk you're willing to take on.
Yes.
Okay, so now that being said, let's get into the investments because, again, your risk level determines what investments you're willing to take on. Again, so let's get into a discussion about global stocks, MMFs, let's talk about real estate, and I know your personal preference. But for today, let's break it down based on the risk level. If I come to you, I say, Stomzy, I'm risk averse. Where are you directing me to?
Okay, I mean, this is a good question. I mean, risk averse, you'd probably want things that have a certain level of guarantee or a certain level of security. So, government bonds would be a good place. Land would be an okay-ish place. Anything tangible and real is not bad for risk averse people.
Yeah.
Because they can wake up and be like, I want to go and see my thing. If it's land, you can wake up and go see your land.
Yeah.
If it's a house, in terms of like real estate, you can wake up and go see your house, etc., etc. So more or less tangible assets are okay. Then, of course, you have your government bonds, which are slightly less risky as well, because, of course, we expect the government to always pay its debts. Up until they default. I mean, with our taxes, they can take care of their payments and stuff like that. And they can always adjust things to make sure that they pay their creditors. So those are okay-ish to start for a risk-averse person. I think top of mind, those are the ones that really don't want to now start.
Yes. Okay, mid-level?
Yeah.
Mid-level?
Mid-level, you can do multiple things. You can do your real estate. You can do slightly risky assets like your stocks and equities and all that kind of stuff. The whole game, the name of the game for a moderate or mid-balanced person, and when it comes to risk, is just having a bit of each.
Yeah.
High risk, low risk, mid-risk type thing. So yeah.
Okay.
Real assets, a little bit of risky assets with stocks here and there. And you should be good to go.
High risk is stocks.
Yeah, definitely. I will say not like super, super high risk, but it carries a level of risk that is higher than any other thing that is traditional, like bonds and stuff like that.
Yeah. Okay, so let's go back to our audience again. Target demographic, 25 to 35 years old. You said that if you're not investing in global stocks or playing in the global market, playing with ETFs, playing with, index funds, then you're really not in the investment game. What does that mean?
Man, people can hate me as much as they want, but it is true because even just looking at this year, like with all the ups and downs, YTD returns, year-to-date returns for the overall S&P 500 is around 17%. 17% without you having to lift a finger. You haven't done a damn thing but just click buy. Nothing else. So for me, I feel like that's an opportunity that if people are not aware of, they're missing out. Because, I don't know, of course you can use your local government. So for example, we're here in Kenya. They'll dish out bonds. They'll say, we'll give you 18%. We'll give you whatever. Or you look at your money market funds, we'll give you 12%. But which currency? Number one, Kenya shillings.
Yeah.
I'm getting 17% on US dollars. So I'm making money, and eventually I know for a fact the US dollar to Kenya shilling exchange rate will not remain at 129 forever.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting question, but is it going to go up or is it going to go down? That's a question for another day. Okay, but so if this is the game and this is where we should be playing, where do I start? Because the biggest question is, it's okay, I know about the funds, but where do I start? If I want to start trading in stocks, where do I start? And not just local stocks, global stocks as well. Where do I start the game? And again, Stomzy, I love your discussions on TikTok because the general rule of thumb when I'm operating is humans are lazy.
Oh, yeah.
Humans are lazy.
Extremely lazy.
And so if I'm a really lazy person, I don't want to put in the work, where do I start investing?
Great question. If you're lazy, I also have a certain level of laziness.
Yeah.
But oh my goodness, with some people on TikTok or in Instagram with some of the DMs, you're like, my goodness, I thought I was lazy. You're redefining lazy.
Yeah.
Like they'll be like, I want yada yada yada.
Yeah.
And they literally want you to spoon feed them.
No, and that's the thing. I want to be spoon-fed, and I also want to make really good money while you're doing it.
Damn, man, get off your ass then and help me help you. I mean, it's a two-way thing. I just can't do everything for you.
Yeah.
We have to do it together so that it can make sense. Or if I'm doing everything for you, I sure I'm going to charge you a premium, a proper premium. You will pay for everything that I'm doing. But, once again, I can't do this at scale because I'm just by myself and probably a couple of team members.
Yeah.
So we can't address everyone. But to answer your question, where can you start? For me, I always like giving away this information for free because, number one, I'm helping someone improve their life.
Yeah.
We probably might never even meet in real life.
Yeah.
But they can always remember, hey, you know what? There's this guy who said this and this. It has helped me today to get from point A to point B. And probably in the future, I'll be at point Z where I'm comfortable. So with that to me is impact that is immeasurable. I don't care how much you give me. That is crazy impact. So we give away this information for free. We have a free community, Basquiat Capital. We have a free community. We're still going to keep filming more stuff, giving it out for free, giving it to people who look like us so that we can get more damn people on the million. What did they say? They have like 120 something Kenyans.
Yeah. Control
more than 40 what?
I think it was 47% of the world, right?
No clue. Whether it's 47% or it's 47 million more than, that's a very, very small number. At least let's get to 1,000, maybe even 10K. Because this wealth is going to be transferred.
Yeah.
Once again, principles of the richest man in Babylon. Another man's earnings or another woman's earnings is someone else's spending. Sorry. Another man or woman's spending is another person's income.
Oh, wow.
So
yes.
I'm spending.
Yes.
And
that's my full income.
Yes, you're earning from it. And you do the same. So if you use this, the folks in this room with iron as well. So if I spend and I give you some money to get service in return, of course, you'll make a profit.
Yeah.
That profit now probably you can go back to your supplier, probably iron, and then you can, when you pay him, he gets an income.
Yes.
And you get something in return. And that flows. And that's literally how
the world works.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So with that being said, once that principle is understood by many, you're like, okay, cool. I'm in a position where I can impact not only myself but the community at large. So that's why we like giving away these things for free, so that people can also now impact this also to other people as well. So where to start? Check out our free course. Check out our free resources. We have a masterclass this 2026 in January. So folks can even just go ahead and book.
Yeah.
And just come. We're more than happy to have as many people as possible. So yeah, that's a place to start.
So I love that. And, currently I feel like we're living in an era of over-information. The information out there is overwhelming. And so I appreciate people like you who give away this knowledge for free. But in these courses, is it broken down? Because what I'm trying to pinpoint to Stomzy is, as a new person going into investment, I want to probably invest in index funds and I don't want to go through a broker. I want to probably invest in EFTs, equities. Where do I start? Do you get the gist? Yes. Yeah. So I'm just new, completely blank in the market, no information. And again, I appreciate programs like yours. So is it that someone should go check out those courses? Should I first even learn what does this word even mean in the first place? So where do you start the game? Being fresh in it, if you look back maybe 10 years ago, where was the starting point? Because, it's a certain thing to say, I'm going to start investing tomorrow, and these are the funds, or rather, this is my investment portfolio. But then in the study of it, just getting to decide that I'm going to take a money market, I'm going to take, and we live in the era of TikTok. I'll meet you, you're going to say index funds are the best, stocks are the best. I meet someone else, they're like, money market is the best. Special funds in Kenya now becoming a big thing, and so those are the best. Where do I start and how do I scale it?
Great question. For me, I feel like once again, I know people are like lazy and stuff like that, but that's kind of like why we even did the course in the first place. Man, if you really want to take some time and really understand what you're doing, pick up a book. Pick up a damn book and try and understand. If it's you want to learn how to fly a rocket, I don't think there's any school here that offers any rocket science course. But there are books. You can buy a book for less than 2,000, 3,000, maybe even, let's even say the most expensive is 5,000. 5,000, pick up the book, you will learn something. You'll pick up 1 or 2, 3 things that will help you along the journey. So when it comes to investing, same thing. John Bogle, founder of Vanguard, 12 trillion AUM, $12 trillion assets under management, and then some. Little book of common sense investing. Very simple book. It's like this thick. Simple book where he breaks down what ETFs are, how they've worked over the period of time that they started, and how they can impact your money in the long term. That's one side. You have Benjamin Graham, The Intelligent Investor. Also another book. Of course, it has a little bit of jargon about stocks and stuff like that. Great book. I don't know if there's a book on MMFs. I think Jesus Christ, I'm about to completely destroy her name. Washeke Nduati, Centonomy founder. Making Sense. Great book. So there are also local copies of books that people can pick up and just start learning about these things. Because with that knowledge, now you'll know something that you didn't know, and then now you can start thinking about execution. Execution will be like, okay, so now I've learned about ETFs. Let me open up a brokerage account. I don't need to put my own money to learn. I think even most brokerages give people paper trading or fake money.
Yes, virtual money.
Yeah, virtual money. Try it. Just try and see. Make notes, learn something before you put your money down and start burning your fingers just because you just jumped into it.
Okay, awesome. I love that. So the first point, educate. Again, we said educate yourself. Understand, do the due diligence. What am I getting myself into?
Yes.
And so in light of that, because again, when we talk about investment, education is quite important because you can't do something that you don't know how to do, right? And so when we look at our parents and the knowledge that we're borrowing, our moms were in chamas.
Yeah.
Our moms were in chamas. They moved to SACCOs. Now, let me talk about from my own personal journey, my own finance journey. You know, your parents teach you what they know and then you develop from that. So I remember like when I first got my first job, my dad was like, go open a SACCO account, start saving there. And you know, for him, he was really strict about it. He was like, you're not going to waste money, you're going to save and you're going to be financially well off. But that's what my dad knew, and that's the knowledge that he passed on. And so it's really important for us to have these conversations so that people are not sitting out there thinking that what they know is the best. Instead, give them, you know, a basis for why we're saying this is where to move to. This is where the game is going, and this is how you transition from that. And so if you look at our parents from chamas to SACCOs, now our generation is taking up money markets, but you're saying this is not the best in the game. Why is that? And how do I make that shift? You know, how do I make that shift from, okay, fine, I was in a SACCO, I've now transitioned that money into a money market fund. It's still not the best. And so how do I move this from a money market to, again, special funds? Recently learned, again, not the best thing out there. What I thought was just, you know, I'm getting like 17% return and I'm really over there like feeling like, I'm ruling the world.
Yeah.
So how do we transition from these investments that we knew, not because we were wrong in the way we were investing our money, but because this is the best you knew? And so how do we move the game from that to, I'm now playing in the real investor's game? Yeah.
Great question. For me, I think it's it just comes down to questioning everything. Your dad, shout out to him. That's the level of knowledge he had, and he was like, a SACCO is the best thing for you, for my daughter, Melvin. Nothing more can help her. So for me, and one thing I learned about, and I always appreciate my mom for, is that she allows me to challenge her.
Yeah.
Because as her son, you know, and she's of course she's my mom. Of course she can't know everything. She's just a human being, just like me.
Yeah.
So my job is to question. So even her, she gave me the whole SACCO thing. You need to join a SACCO. And I did. I joined Kimisi to SACCO. I saved. And then I was like, I looked at the statements and I was like, really?
No, that's the thing I was telling you earlier. I looked at my statements and I was like, at this rate, we'll never get rich. Yeah. Let alone create wealth. We'll never get rich.
Exactly. You're like, is this the best? Is this the best that I can do as Melvin, as Stomzy? This is the best I can do?
Yeah.
So for me, I was like, no, I need to find other options. She talked about money market funds, and this was earlier again. I opened up money market funds, and shout out to one of my ex-girlfriends. She's the one who helped me, you know, kind of like set things up.
Yeah.
CIC, Sanlam, which is now Sanlam Allianz, you know, started money market funds.
Yeah.
Looked at the statements, I was like, damn. This is the best I can do, Yani.
Yeah,
so
it's still not hitting
really,
the right spot.
No, this is not. So I just started questioning those things.
Yeah.
And what that led me is, of course, once again, doing research, doing the work.
Yeah.
Getting off my lazy ass and saying, I will do the work to find the best instruments that I'm happy to invest in, and I can also see some positivity, can see some positive returns.
Yeah.
And when I do the math, and I look at where I want to be and backtrack or work backwards to where I am right now, I can see there's a path to that prosperity within my lifetime.
Yeah.
For some of these things, Asako, I don't know if you'll be able to see $1 million in your lifetime unless you're putting in hella paper.
Yeah.
Like you're putting in tons and tons of millions to get to that, which is fair. And so for me, I was like, this is not going to work. So questioning that helped me get to and start looking at other things, because people have done amazing things, you know, in the onset of crypto and Bitcoin.
Yeah.
A couple of guys, you know, took that risk, put those dollars in, and, you know, they became millionaires eventually.
Yeah.
Just questioning and saying, fine, in as much as there are other safer instruments out here, etc., the ones that our parents are recommending, etc. Is there something better?
Is there something better? Always asking that
Always
question.
asking that. And then just doing the research, doing the due diligence, reading really comes through clutch. One thing I do have to mention, though, is, this is, hopefully if your listeners will forgive me here, but someone like Wayne Gretzky, ice hockey player, one of the greats.
Yeah.
He said, when you are playing the game, now ice hockey, you go to where the puck is going to be, not where it is right now. Right now, when we speak, we're talking about AI.
Yeah.
We're talking about humanoid robotics. We're talking about, because I'm pretty sure you've seen those videos on TikTok, like these robots now that are fighting.
Yes, no, I did. I actually saw one on Daily Show, and I'm like, this is not a robot.
Yeah.
This is
it's
utterly disappointing.
Yeah. And people are purchasing these.
Yeah.
Tesla are making theirs. China are really leading in that in that field of humanoid robotics.
Yeah.
That's where we're going.
Yeah.
AI right now is, people use that for probably literally anything and everything. They'll want to ask ChatGPT, they'll want to ask Claude and all that kind of thing, all those kind of things, even critical things. Should I date this person? Should I do this, etc.
Yeah.
That's where we are. And now in the future, when you listen to people like Jensen Huang, CEO of NVIDIA, he's like, humanoid robotics is huge. Yeah. It is coming, and it's coming
gonna
very
be
fast.
huge.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not even just AI. He talks about, what else did he talk about? Quantum computing will be a thing. Quantum computing, for some people even listening right now, they'll be like, what the hell are you talking about?
Yeah, because when you said that, I was like, quantum physics, so how does that tie into
computing?
Computing.
Yes. But we're building the capabilities right now, and that's why I always keep saying, as humans, we are creators.
Yeah.
We have been given that power by God to create, and that's why people are coming up with these crazy ass things.
Yeah.
So quantum computing is, computing at such a fast level, like it can do PhD level math in seconds. It can do extreme calculations, probably even to calculate how long it'll take a rocket designed to get to another galaxy. Those kind of things, like crazy things. Yeah. So that's where we're heading. So as you and me right now, what can we do? Are we just going to sit and say, you know what? SACCOs are the best thing to invest in. And
you just sit there.
You just sit there. While people are building humanoid robots and building quantum computers. I think even like a kid, even if you just give them those options, where would you want to spend your time?
The future.
Exactly.
The future.
Yeah, they'll see a robot, they'll be like, I want that, as opposed to a SACCO, which will go and buy land and sell to other people. No shade to them. But that kind of thinking is what you and I, viewers who are watching even today, will benefit from, because that's where we're going as a human race.
I love that you said that, and allow me to interject here and throw in a pointer. I love what you said about when you know something is coming, you have 3 options. My boss tells me you have 3 options. You have the first option, which is to sit and wait it out and see how it impacts you, how it affects you, what that is going to mean for you. Number 2, you can choose to turn that thing around and see how to play within it. So if you're thinking, now because quantum computing is coming in, I'm going to learn how to work the system through quantum computing. And there's the third option where you become aggressive, like you choose to aggressively pursue this thing. So if people are creating these systems, then why am I waiting for me to use it as opposed to me getting in to learn the game and create the systems? And so you have 3 options. Even to your own personal finances, you can choose to keep the game, which is play in the circles, play in the money market funds, and there's nothing wrong with that. Yes. Again, speaks to your personality. There's nothing wrong with that. If you're comfortable in that, that is okay. Number 2, you can choose to, improve the game just slightly, what scope am I, because I know what is coming, do I choose to get a balance of this and a balance of this and merge them together?
Yeah.
Or do you become disruptive about it? And you decide, I'm going to take on the high risk. I'm going to, if I'm losing, I'll fall with a third.
Yeah.
And if I'm winning, then I'm flying. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So when we talk about the financial game, where is the game headed to? What are the game changers? List them out to us.
Yeah, game changers are literally right before our eyes. And the good thing is, information being ubiquitous and being easily accessible, you know what the hell is going on in the US, in Mexico, in China right now by just pulling out this little gadget.
Yeah.
You'll know literally what's going on. So for the same thing about finances, when you want to make money, you kind of like look at where the money is going. Because that was going to guide you. Because these people are not stupid. They're not going to invest and put money into companies or ideas that they don't think that are going to have a level of probability of success.
Yeah.
So of course they do. They have great minds. They do research and all that kind of stuff to decide this is the direction we want to go. As an organization, as a company, all those things will decide where people will invest time, money, resources, all that kind of stuff. So with this information literally at the reach of your fingertips, you can make a decision and be like, let me just see. Let's try it out. Just like the crypto people and the Bitcoin folks, early days.
Yeah.
Because eventually, and there's usually that curve of adoption, and so you'll always start with early adopters, then it'll reach the mainstream, and then it'll plateau, and everyone is on it, and then it'll decline in the future. So companies like your Facebook, your Nvidia, your Meta, Facebook, Amazon, these big giants, they are putting money into AI and other projects into into quantum computing, humanoid robotics, etc., because they see value in the future when they start investing now, because consumers will start purchasing those things. So as Melvin right now sitting here, you have an absolute chance in Kenya, whether you're in Shags, in Embu, in Maralal, doesn't matter. As long as you have a phone, internet access, you can be an owner in one of those technologies and those things that are shaping the future of tomorrow.
And so again, we're lazy.
Yes.
We're lazy.
Yes.
So when we say companies that are creating these, new technologies, emerging technologies, this is you trading in stocks, right? Again, spoon feeding. We are trading in stocks. That is what we mean.
Yes and no, because you don't have to really pick the companies and be like, oh, this company is doing quantum computing, let me now buy it just because they said they are doing that. There's some other things in the back that you need to do due diligence on. And look at growth, look at the growth of the industry, projected growth. Basically, there's just a lot of reading and a lot of research. But stocks is one way. If you're not interested in buying single companies, you can buy an ETF within that sector. So like humanoid robotics, they will have some sort of ETFs, a bunch of companies that are grouped together that are in that industry working on that. And all you have to do is just wake up and buy.
Again, Stomzy, we've just been saying ETFs from the very beginning. What is ETFs? Yes, remember, please, no time to Google.
Sorry, no time to Google.
Yes.
ETFs, exchange traded funds. Basically, think of them like a basket, or like we can even use this example of this container having these stones. So this container here has stones. So instead of me buying a single stone, I can buy this thing with all the stones inside.
So you can get like purple stones, red stones, you can get some brown stones.
Yes.
And that is basically an ETF. So when we talk about, again, let's go back to the idea of robotics. You can get one company that is doing maybe home appliances. You can get another one that's like an office manager, one that creates office manager robots, something like that.
Yes.
And it's all in one basket that you can now buy.
Exactly.
And you buy a portion of that.
Yeah, you just buy a portion of that. You get instant access into everything. Yes.
Okay, so we've talked about stocks. We've talked about ETFs. What is the other game changer?
Other game changer. That's a good thing. I think for me, it's always just, I like following news around crypto because there's a lot of regulation and a lot of excitement around that. Once again, within the news, you just listen to the news and you read, you'll see there's a lot of excitement around that. You know, central banks, even including our own, trying to issue out a digital shilling. That's the direction where we're going.
Yeah.
So, you know, just being aware and paying attention instead of just sitting down looking at Mpasho and Buzz Room Kenya, you know, I want tea.
Yeah.
Who's sleeping with who? Bruh, just do something.
What amount of time do I need?
Every day.
Yeah.
The same amount of time that you can doom scroll. The same amount of time you can do something valuable and do a read.
Yeah.
A quick read.
Yeah. So since the year is just starting out, if I used to spend 3 hours on TikTok, I can now spend that 3 hours. I make a goal. This 3 hours is purely going into research.
Yes, you can use it. Of course, you'll be like, this is work and all that.
Yeah, and it's boring.
It's boring.
Yeah.
I'm not going to get my daily dose of dopamine. But you'll get your daily dose of dopamine for the rest of your life. If you plan yourself accordingly. You can stay on TikTok the whole day if you want, if your money is working for you. No one is going to ask you a damn thing. Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you for that. So look at the game changer, move towards where the winners are going, if I can summarize it at that. Okay. So now that people know where to invest, what is the one thing that can kill you quite fast? And figuratively, you probably won't die, but what is the one thing that can kill your finance game really, really fast?
I want to say greed and fear, because those are literally the ones that dictate decisions for human beings, especially when they do investing. Fear is what makes people sell and sell at a disadvantageous position. Greed is what makes them buy, also at a disadvantageous position.
Yeah.
Because if you, right now I give you $1,000 and I tell you, use this money wisely, go and buy yourself something. And now you have 3-4 supermarkets. One is selling something full price, another is selling 25% off, another is selling 50% off, and another is selling at 75% off. The same thing. I don't know, maybe it's earrings. Where
Even
will you
with
buy?
free money, I will choose the most discounted. Okay.
Same
Not
thing.
in all scenarios.
Not
but
in all scenarios,
again,
but
yeah,
it's the
even
exact
with
same thing.
free money, you'll still choose.
It's literally the exact same thing.
Yes.
Say, for example, it's the ring on your finger. 3-4 stores are selling the exact ring,
Yeah.
but all of them have different prices.
Yeah.
Where will you go?
The cheapest option.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And so fear and greed. And what is the middle kind of scenario?
Middle kind of scenario when it comes to fear and greed.
Yes.
I don't know if there's a middle, because unfortunately the two are very binary. It's either 0 or 1 or 1 or 0.
Yeah.
You can't pick 0.5, but it's just doing the opposite. When people are greedy, you're fearful.
Yeah.
When people are fearful, you're greedy.
You're greedy.
Because once again, like I said, fear is what will drive people to sell. When they're selling, you're buying.
Yeah, you're buying because again, it's going down. It's,
Yes.
Yes.
People are discounting it for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And when people are greedy and they want to buy, that's when you're selling. See, I have it. Yeah.
So, question that I actually thought about this morning again. When people are selling, how do you know this is something that is going to come back versus this is truly dying? Because again, fear is driven by something. There is information out there that people are looking at and they're like, this scenario is not good. And so I need to get out. If a fire starts, in this building here, our one thought will be get out. And so how do you differentiate between this company, it's time to buy, even though people are getting afraid and leaving, like they're selling their stocks, versus, even though I buy, it's not going to die off completely. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think in stocks, I'll use as an example because that's kind of like where the good thing is that there's information to help guide your decision. This also comes now back to being your own thinker. You think and make a decision for yourself, and you will live and learn with whatever it is the outcome is.
Yeah.
So I'll give an example of Netflix. So around 2021, 2022, Netflix had soared in its price for shares. And then all of a sudden people started selling, and they sold it aggressively, extremely aggressively. But smart investors were like, hold on, why are people selling? Is the company shutting down tomorrow? No. What's actually happening?
Yeah.
So in the back, I think when it comes also to just any kind of due diligence, is it growing? Is the company growing? Yes.
Yes.
They're adding more and more users. They're doing a lot of marketing or other promotions in countries that traditionally aren't like...
Yeah, like they're opening up white spaces. They have
Exactly.
white spaces
there's
in their
white
scope.
spaces, and they're getting into different markets. So increasing their user base. Prices are fair, so the company is making money. And they're making money quarter over quarter. It's not just once and then they lose. The company is growing.
Yeah.
So, of course, people, whatever it is that people sold off of, maybe it was a rumor or it was fear or whatever, people like Melvin, who saw that and questioned the why and got the information and reasoning to see that this company is actually growing.
Yeah.
They were like, okay, cool, fine. It's losing value right now because of whatever, but it's still a good company.
Yes.
Let me buy.
Yeah.
So you're doing the exact opposite. And it's, I'm telling you, I'm not going to lie. Like, it's such a weird thing doing the opposite of other people.
Yeah. Again, because we're humans, we want validation.
Validation.
And so if you're not feeling validated by the fact that, Stomzy, I'm buying this, you're buying the exact same thing.
Yeah.
Our editor here is buying the exact same thing. And so it's like, okay, why am I?
Yeah, why am I selling?
Yes.
Yeah, so of course it's very difficult. However, at the end of the day, you're looking at it with a long-term perspective. You're like, at all times, the fundamentals will always win. People will agree, fine, they'll do all the it is they want due to emotions, but one time they will come and agree that this company is fairly valued and it's a good buy. Yeah. And when they start buying, price increases. And I bought it at 15. They're coming in and they're buying it at 50.
Are you serious?
Yeah. So people who stuck with it with Netflix as it was going down, absolutely killed it. They made an absolute killing. Yeah, because the share went down to, I don't know, I can't remember, but it's now all the way up $1,000 plus per share. Super expensive. So those are the things now that in the stock market really help people make good decisions.
Okay, great. So Stomzy, before we move on to the next segment, it would be unfair of me not to ask this question because you talk a lot about global stocks. Where do we buy them? So the question is not, how do I start looking into them? Where do I buy them?
Yeah, thankfully there are platforms out here in Kenya that are trying to, make them accessible to people. You have your Hisas, you have your Ndovus. I have an issue with Ndovu. Hisa is good. Or if you want to now interact like what we do with our clients and what I do by myself, is you just get a brokerage account, get it approved, interact and purchase for your damn self. You can do it yourself. And that's the thing about technology nowadays. It has democratized certain things. Instead of having to go through Mansa X, for example, to get access to these markets, you can do it your damn self.
No, so you said that, and I was actually, when I saw that particular segment on TikTok, guys, go watch it. Again, we're becoming better in 2025. So
2026.
Go fight. Oh, 2026.
Yes.
Oh, I am still.
You're still in last year.
Yes. So Stomzy, in light of this whole conversation that we've been having, the one key learning is educate yourself. If there's one takeaway, it's go out there, learn. If you truly want to make yourself financially better, go out there and learn. But what are the red flags? So when it comes to investment, just like in relationships, what should be my key lookouts for? What
Yeah.
are the 5 things that I need to look out for?
Number one is just hype. Anyone selling you any kind of hype, telling you, oh my God, you're going to make X amount if you work with us or you pick this thing. Yeah, that's a red flag.
Yeah.
Especially when they offer high returns without any historical context. So for us, at least if I'm telling you, we did 30%, 40%. I have a client who will just open up their brokerage account with their real money,
Yeah.
and they'll show you.
Yeah.
So unless someone is able to back it up with historical facts, that's a red flag.
Don't fall for the hype. Okay.
Absolutely, don't fall for the hype.
Yeah.
Number 2, just another red flag is just following the crowd. Once again, this whole thing of this thing is a great thing. Like, remember the Quay legs thing?
Yeah.
Same thing. All these hype things.
Yes.
Personally, I feel like those tend to mislead a lot of people. Another red flag around investing is, just don't believe everything that's being peddled. You don't even need to believe me right now.
Yeah.
Just believe. Just take what makes the most sense and applies to you. Then you can double check. You can fact check. If it makes sense and it's something that you're keen on, then you can try and see for yourself.
Yeah.
So always, once again, question everything. Don't believe whatever it is that's being peddled out there. I don't have any other 2.
No, but that's great already.
Yeah.
Don't follow the crowd. Avoid the hype.
Yes, avoid.
The hype.
Yeah.
And lastly, remind me. So, avoid the hype, don't follow the crowd, and do the due diligence yourself.
Due diligence, yes.
Yourself.
Yes.
Okay, so as we are wrapping up the episode, tell me more about Basquiat Capital. To anyone out there who's interested in the services, what do you guys do? How do you make my life financially better? Before I ask you the last question.
For sure. So I'll keep it super plain and simple. So for Basquiat, all we do is just make sure that we are returning above market returns for our clients. So we're not in deposit taking. We don't take anyone's money. We help folks set up brokerage accounts in the United States. We help them pick the right companies, and then we monitor alongside them. So it's more or less a partnership relationship.
Yeah.
But in the future, we are planning to look at this as a hedge fund. So we'll probably close outside of the business and now focus on just now doing this in-house. And then if clients want to come, they can come, and we'll figure out how we're going to do it.
Yeah.
Basquiat will definitely become a hedge fund in the future. But right now we're kind of like closing the whole one-on-one client relationship thing, and now looking towards the future, because number one, we want to provide this value at scale and affordably. It should not be expensive for future clients. So I think that's.
So, quick question: how much money do I need to have before I come to you?
So right now we have kind of like with our plans, we used to say now the cheapest plan, we usually say like between 1,000 to 10,000 is good enough. So this is in USD to start.
Yeah.
Mid tiers, of course, increase. Of course, it sounds like a lot of money, but if you look at it, if you just need to put like 5,000, 3,000 in a span of a year, you can get to 100K.
Yeah.
129,000 Kenya shillings or whatever it is in your local currency for viewers outside of Kenya.
Yeah.
And with 1,000, you're okay. 500, you're also good. And then you just build over time, nice and slow. And then eventually, probably 10, 15, 20 years down the line, you'll see yourself in a completely different stratosphere.
Yeah. Okay, so should I take all my money that is currently sitting in my MMF and give it to you from today's episode?
Absolutely. Yes. It is languishing there. It's languishing, and it will continue to languish.
Yes.
Yeah, from December, if the Federal Reserve of the United States decides, in December, okay. We're shooting this in December.
Yes, we're shooting this in December to drop in January.
Yes.
Yeah.
But let's just say in December this month, the Federal Reserve in the United States cuts interest rates. This will be propagated to central bank here in Kenya and any other central bank.
Yeah.
So your money markets will continue earning less.
Yeah.
Plain and simple.
Okay, so final question for the day. What is the one unique lesson that your financial journey has taught you?
It's possible to create generational wealth and being the first in line for the people who come after you. It is very possible.
Yeah.
It just starts with one decision. And as you said, coming back to what you said in the beginning of the episode, mindset. If you say, cool, I have inherited bad financial habits from grandparents, parents, I'm the last in that line.
Yeah.
No more. The people who come after me, if I plan to have people after me, will not experience this. They will have abundance. And I would want them to continue building abundance. And that's how, we have these 120-something people who control 47% of the wealth or have more wealth than 47 million Kenyans.
I love that. Thank you. So it is possible for you to create generational wealth. And I love what you said. There's something that I always tell myself. It ends with me. So it's from the book, it ends with us, but I'm always like, it ends with me. If there's a bad financial habit, it ends with me.
Yes.
If there's something that I don't particularly, again, it's life. Let's be realistic. There are things that you don't appreciate about your own family, and there are things that you really appreciate. And so for some of these things, I'm always like, this ends with me.
Absolutely.
All right. Thank you so much, Stomzy. Thank you for joining us today. It's been a great episode. The key takeaway for me, learn. Get off your ass.
Get off your ass.
Get off your ass,
Yes.
man. Just learn.
Just
Do your
learn.
due
Yeah.
diligence. It's going to be the one game changer for you in 2026.
Facts.
Whether it's money, whether it's career development, it's going to be the key game changer.
Absolutely.
Asante sana.
Thank you.
It's been a great pleasure having you.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right. Thank you so much, guys. It's been lovely having you today. If you enjoyed the episode, please share it with your family and friends and subscribe. You guys, subscribe. This is how we're going to make money in 2026. All right. Thank you. It's a wrap.